right, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Alrighty, this is Zach Nasser here with the Holistic Maker, and yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about essential oils and epigenetics. I'm going to do my best to monitor the chat while I do this. Hey, booming bubble bus. Yes, you can hear me and see me. Fantastic. Awesome. So, yeah, we are just going to get right into it because for those of you who missed the beginning, there will be a replay that you can check out. I'm just going to move on into the slideshow that I made. Alright, so essential oils and epigenetics. If you don't know what essential oils are basically the essence of a plant. It's basically the immune system of the plant. And if you don't know what epigenetics is, it's how your genome is affected by things in its environment. So anything in our environment can affect our epigenome. Some things more negatively than others, while other things more positively than others. And whereas the science of essential oils has kind of been a mystery up until now, we've known for thousands of years that they work. They, have been referenced in the Bible and all kinds of ancient texts. But now we actually know what's going on. So, who am I? Why should you listen to me? Here's a little about me. This was me 12 years ago on the right. I was fat and depressed. I was probably about 265 pounds in this picture, and I got up to about 280. Ago, I started to get, hey Chris and Aaron, I just saw y'all in the chat. I'm going to try to monitor it while I talk about this. So yeah, I was fat and depressed, and I wanted to be a doctor, and they put me on. I was depressed and unmotivated, but still studying to be a doctor, and then they put me on ADD meds, because that's what you do when a kid can't study, and I didn't want to take them every day, and it was Adderall. So then I started having rises and falls in my mood, and they put me on atypical antipsychotics, which is anti-seizure medicine, and eventually I had a nervous breakdown, and I realized I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to fight illness in people's body. I want to create wellness in people's body, and in people's bodies and their mind and spirit. That's why I go for the holistic body and spirit. So yeah, I was 100 pounds heavier. This is me 12 years later, about 165 to 170, and way more happy, way more purposeful. This is me at the internet marketing party with my friend Nick. Shout out to Nick. So I've been studying health for the last 12 years or so. I've been doing it professionally for the last 5 years, doing health and energy work and that kind of thing. Fasting spa, and I got the job there in 2014. When the year before it was top 10 organic spa and resorts in the world. You can find out more about that at deerlakelodge.com. Hello, Oscar Mendez. I am also been doing product formulation and marketing for several over. Yeah. All right, I'm checking the chat. So I do a lot of stuff having to do with health and wellness. Like I said, I've been studying it for 12 years, doing it professionally for the last 5, and doing marketing specifically for brands for the last. So this is a talk about essential oils, though, but it's a thing that's really close to my heart because I love to create products, and essential oils are one of my favorite. So we'll just jump right into it now that you know who I am. So essential oils, a lot of people think it's woo-woo science, but what this is here is cutting out still. It said my latency went down, and now it's back up to green. So This is PubMed Central here. It has all the National Institutes of Health studies as well as studies from the CDC, and even NASA and NIST. So if you type in essential oils at PubMed Central, you get 111,804 results of peer-reviewed clinical studies about essential oils. So this is not woo-woo science. This is peer-reviewed, heavy-duty science. So over 33,000 of these. Hey, Krista, good to see you. Over 33,000 of these grants came from the National Institutes of Health, which is your tax dollars go to the National Institutes of Health and they research this stuff. So they don't have any influence from companies or from pharmaceutical companies like the FDA has, So they just say, well, what's going to happen when we put frankincense essential oil on pancreatic cancer cells? Or let's see what essential oils do for skin disease. So you can look all this stuff up. PubMed.gov has some good stuff, but PubMed Central is my favorite because it's just chock full of stuff. So why do I bring this up? I bring this up because my favorite essential oils on the planet are also the only clinical grade essential oils. The reason why I'm going to talk about this company is, one, I love them. Full disclosure, I do market their products because I love their products. Even if I didn't market their products, I would love their products. And Epigenetics and essential oils, they are the only company studying this. The only company in the world that does this. So let's move on to the next slide and talk a little bit about these things. So the company is called Mayo. This is probably the number one reason why they are my favorite. Ame is French for soul, and Rico is rich. Mayo is rich soul. It's a portmanteau. It means two words put together. So this is what I love about this company. You go to mayodifference.com, you type in your batch code. I had to just screenshot these because it wouldn't let me live stream it. So 23415 is a bottle of Eucalyptus essential oil that I personally had. And then what happens? It pops up with Eucalyptus globulus, your exact bottle of oil. They show you exactly what went into your essential oil. Okay, where it was grown, does it meet clinical grade standards? Yes, it does meet clinical grade standards. If you read a study on PubMed Central about frankincense and kind of cancer like pancreatic cancer, or you read about eucalyptus helping with candida, you go, how do I know my oil is as good as that oil? Well, it meets the clinical grade standards. Okay, and Dr. Joshua Plant, who not only did he graduate from an 8-year program at Harvard in 3.5 years, he also had a fellowship with the National Institutes of Health. So he had full access to all of their data and is comparing this standard to the oils used in their clinical studies. It's important because the sourcing of the oils is really important in a clinical study. So you can even see this oil was grown in China. And that's because the most potent Eucalyptus globulus in the world grows in China. That's just like the most potent lavender in the world grows in France. The most potent citrus in the world grows in Florida. And so some of you might be wondering, oh, if it's in China, how do I know it's not contaminated with lead or mercury or some of those other things that you get in China? Well, they thought of that. This here, we use ICP-MS, which is inductively couplet plasma mass spectroscope, and we test for arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. Now, many other companies don't do that, many companies don't do that, and many companies do that, but they don't show you the results. So it shows you that it's clean of these heavy metals in the parts per billion resolution, not parts per million, parts per billion with a B. So you know that your oil in your batch has none of this stuff in it. Not only that, they test for yeast and mold and E. coli, salmonella, staphylococcus aureus, which is flesh-eating bacteria, and P. aeruginosa. Okay, because, if you're going to drink these oils, and some of them you can drink. You don't want to drink flesh-eating bacteria or mercury. That is other than the best news ever. And so even the other top essential oil companies, I used to do marketing for other essential oil companies, and I thought mine were the best. But then I realized they wouldn't give me the data that I wanted. You know, since I've been health coaching for 5 years, somebody asked me, hey, what oil do I take for X, Y, and Z? I want to be able to prove to them there's a peer-reviewed study about X, Y, and Z, and here's how you know the quality. They show you the quality. So then we go back up here to the top. It's GRAS certified, which is generally recognized as safe by the FDA. That means you can drink it. Certified non-GMO. This one's grown in China, so it is not certified organic because there's FDA in China. However, the citrus oils that we grow in the United States are certified organic. With organic, it's more of a process change, not really a qualitative change. Because even the farms that Mayo works with, they don't use pesticides even if it's not certified organic. The other thing they show you, I'm going back to 7, I skipped ahead. Got a little too excited. So they show you eucalyptol, limonene, gamma-terpenine, and these other constituents. This is the notable clinical constituents that should announce. Eucalyptol is the big one because that's the big infectious one. It's the one that helps. It has that cooling feeling that we get from actually the opposite of capsaicin, which spicy peppers make you feel like you're hot. Eucalyptus and other oils with eucalyptol actually make your body think. So the other ones here, those spikes are the other major. And this is something that no other company does, okay? Because other companies, they do GCMS, which is gas chromatography mass spectrometry, but they don't tell you the results like a Mayo does. So something that no other company does in the world is this little doodad right here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the live video on the website if you want to check it out after the fact. I can't live stream it on the webinar right now. There's it. Slide at. Oh, is that it? No. Well, anyway, what this is here is this shows that your oils are cell active and permeable. So what that means is these are live human cells. The green is the cell membranes, and then the blue is the nucleus, the center. For the red oil on it, they're using a laser scanning system called confocal fluorescence microscopy. Okay, basically they're just laser scanning the cells, and showing you that the essential oil is being absorbed by the cells, not just passively diffused into the cells, but absorbed and uptaken by the cells. Okay, difference, because if you heat the oils too hot when you're distilling them, then it breaks down the constituents and your body doesn't want to accept it. Also, if you don't heat the oils enough, then you won't get these constituents that you want to get in the oils. So I have another close-up picture somewhere. Yeah, it's just some of the other tests: infrared identity, organoleptic, refractive testing, optical rotations, gravity. These are pretty standard tests for therapy, but no other company shows you results. So this is a human cell. Membrane, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, etc. And so this is a digital representation, but the next here, this is live human skin cells taken from a mouth swab, and you can see this is the blue is the nucleus, outside is green, the cell membrane. Places where the red has come in, and it's showing that your batch of essential oils is actually recognized by the body and absorbed into it. Okay, and see some of these you can also see where there is a high concentration of activity inside of the nucleus, and a high concentration of activity in some of those organelles that I was showing you earlier, like the gold. So that's amazing because you want your essential oils to work, right? That'd be a good thing. You want to know that it's good for your body, that your body recognizes it and uptakes it. So this is the next place where a Mayo blew my mind. Okay. So this is Co2 assay or Co2 Monolayer. Okay, so this is like the villi inside of your small intestine. So what's going on with that is, for example, the Co2 assay was used to show that iron is absorbed into the intestines better in the presence of vitamin C. So they use what's called the Co2 assay to show that. And so the apical media and basolateral media is just like it moving from one side of your intestine to the other side of the intestine, Co2 monolayer. So what Dr. Joshua Plant discovered is that certain essential oils are super carriers. That's what he termed them. They make other oils more bioavailable, which is huge because then you can take your, frankincense has a lot of great benefits, some of which I can't even say because the FDA will get me in trouble. One of them has to do with a C word. It's a zodiac sign, and it's not Capricorn. Okay? Now, for some of you that know, frankincense is very expensive. So if you take frankincense with one of these super carrier blends, it works more effectively and more of it is absorbed through the intestinal lining and into the bloodstream. So these are all three of the blends. One here, cell support, is more for immune boosting, like your oregano and thyme. Cell defense is some high antioxidant blends. Clove. If you don't know, clove, the oxygen radical absorbance capacity, or ORAC, which is the quantity of antioxidants, 100 grams of clove oil is over 1,700,000. Dark chocolate is like 20,000. And so clove essential oil is over 1,700,000. So it has some other ones in there as well. Cell therapy is a nourishing blend. It also helps antioxidants get inside of the cell and helps with cellular structural sustainability, that kind of thing. So, and if you don't want to mix these oils with fractionated coconut oil, they got one with all three of them in a capsule for you. So then you can just, drink your frankincense or your orange oil or whatever and just take a capsule. And if you want to screenshot this and save it for later, it has the list of everything on there. So even if you don't use a Mayo, lemongrass, true lavender, ginger, ylang ylang balsam for clove, and some other ones that are on the screen there. There will be a replay. All of those enhance the bioavailability of other essential oils, which is incredible. And he published this study, which I think is so cool because I am such a science nerd. I'm always reading clinical studies. But they didn't stop there. They did not stop there. The next step is AGX. AGX is a Mayo gene expression. So this is where we're getting into epigenetics. Okay? And so this completely blew my mind. It took them 2 years of research and development to do this. So it says on here tens of thousands of genes. I got to talk to Dr. Joshua Plant about this. I've met him a few times. They were looking at 20,000 different genes. They partnered with some leading universities and not be named. I know some of them and they're amazing, but I'm not allowed to mention it. But they took 40 different essential oils, and basically the same way that biotech companies, when a biotech company looks at wheat and they genetically modify it, they use a heat map like this to see what's changing in the cell. If I stick some new DNA into this cell, how does it change the expression of the cell? So the red areas are areas where the genes were upregulated, and the blue areas down-regulated. They could see what disease genes were being turned off and what healing genes, and an entirely new okay, stream resumed. I'm back on. Cut me off for a second. So it created an entirely new science of essential oils, and there's a great book about this called Synergy by Dr. Joshua Plant and Dr. Scott something. I can't remember his name. I'll post. But yeah, so we'll go to the next phase so you can kind of see some of the stuff that they've been doing with this. This completely blew my mind. So AGX Women here is a blend that helps women's hormones express in a healthy way, including prostaglandin, estrogen, progesterone, and more. And they were looking at 20,000 different genes that were being expressed when they put this effects and benefits. And then AGX Digest, instead of taking enzymes and stuff to help your digestion, what this does is it tells your cells to produce more lipase and amylase and protease and all these other enzymes. It actually educates your cells by interacting with them at a cellular level, which I showed you earlier. And now we know specifically what exact genes it turns on and upregulates and downregulates. There was a time when I had leaky gut syndrome. If you want to know more about that, you can ask me later. There's some great programs out there, but I had leaky gut syndrome, and I was very sensitive to wheat as a result. I ate some meatballs, and I forgot that meatballs have wheat flour in them to hold them together, and I was like doubled over in pain, having a stomach ache, and I took one AGX Digest with water, and the bloating went down, the pain went down, all of those things went down, and I can talk about this because this is not a disease, but if you not treat, cure, prevent any illness, but if you have digestive issues, this stuff is very, very helpful. So this is the new science that I'm talking about, and this, if you don't know about this, you should know about this. And if you're in ZJ International or into essential oils and you're not excited about this, you should be. You totally should be. I'm going to do a close-up in just a minute, a closer image of it. But they found that all essential oils act on certain collections of genes that work in 6 different zones. So before we could only this is AGX Breathe. These are all the single. Okay, my video cut out. Come on, video. Okay, stream resumed. Cool. Coming back. All right. So it also helped with the excretory and digestive system. This has to do with detoxification. And then they found other genes that worked on endocrine and lymphatic system. Yes. And then muscular and reproductive systems. So this is like a vitality blend. The nervous system and the immune system, which are very interconnected. Like methyl groups and that kind of. Then the integumentary and skeletal system. So integumentary is your skin. So these are the blends that they created, but you can also see all the single oils and all the blends. You can also buy every single one. So this is AGX Breathe here that helps with respiratory and cardiovascular health. AGX Cleanse is digestive and excretory, but it is also a cellular detoxification blend. It has AGX Metabolism. It's a weight control blend, and this is one of my favorites. It tastes like lemony gingerness. It helps with digestion and metabolism, particularly from an endocrine. AGX Focus here. This is one of my favorites. It smells like root beer. For some reason, it's grapefruit, vetiver, and wintergreen, but it smells like root beer together. You cannot drink this one, but man, it smells good. Blend. Like vetiver is one of the best oils for helping hyperactive children. Wink, wink. Vetiver and cedar are 2 of the best for a certain condition, one with 3 letters and one with 4 letters, that has to do with hyperactive children. There is peer-reviewed studies on it, but I can't say those words. but they cannot pay attention, and they are hyperactive, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. So then we have AGX Skin here, which has like bergamot, ylang ylang, and a bunch of known to benefit your skin at a genetic. I love to put it in lotions because I'm in products and that kind of thing with essential oils. So if you want to get involved with Mayo as a business, I recommend getting either one of these big kits like the Master Oiler kit. This is called the Diamond Kit. As you can see, it has a boatload of essential oils and a bunch of free stuff, including free little samples out to people and a bunch of dram bottles, and my favorite diffuser, the Globe diffuser, and some free. All this you could probably. So if you're going to do this as a business, I recommend either the Master Oiler kit or this one here. They call the Complete Care kit. There's another $6 kit. The reason I recommend those two is because you have more to share, more to use for yourself, and with the $660 kit, you get like probably $1,000 worth of product, and with the $13,000 worth of product. And if you're gonna do it as a business, when you rank advance, there are certain ranks where you get 2 ranks where you get a $500 bonus, 2 ranks with $1,000 bonuses. And if you get one of the larger kits, those bonuses double. So you get 2 $1,000 bonuses and 2 $2,000 bonuses. So that's really cool. I'm not going to get too much into everything. Got it. You can also ask the person who sent you to this video. If you don't want to do it as a business, that's totally fine. 90% of people in this company are customers because they just love the products. So this is the Family Care Kit. This is a $330 kit. It's also called the Silver Kit. You don't get as many of the bonuses, but you get a good deal of 15 milliliter bottles. What the free enrollment is, it's a $20 value, and you basically get 20% off everything you order into the future. The new Distributor Welcome Kit, even if you're not a distributor, there's a lot of great handouts on how to use the oils. You know, like if it's topical, or if you can drink it, or if you can diffuse it, and what it's used for. Air Therapy Pure Diffuser. This thing I believe is like a $100 value. This is actually an atomizer, so you can actually lock in a full bottle of essential oil, and so potent. This Pro Shield one, it's a protective blend. Clove in it, which are really beneficial. If you crank this thing up to the max with Pro Shield in it, you can taste the spiciness in the air. It's that strong. It's amazing. I don't recommend cranking it up to the max, but something like Soothing Air, which has like the eucalyptus and rosemary respiratory blend, you know, when you're feeling under the weather, like when you have sniffles or a cough, wink wink, use this in the air and put it on your chest. It's amazing. Say words that imply disease. So this is an Enhanced 9 kit. It's $230, a little bit more affordable. For those of you who just want to, you know, test some great oils in here, a lot of good ones, including frankincense. Cheaper because some of these are 5 milliliter bottles, 15 milliliter bottles, third of the size. The big bottles are about 250 drops, and you're only, unless you're diffusing a whole bunch of it, you're only going to use 3 to 5 drops at a time. Bottles, 5 milliliter bottles, have about 85 drops in there, so you can see the value in getting the larger. Get in where you fit in, and you know, try some essential oils, and you could even probably get samples, either dram samples or those little handouts. Have these. This is the smallest kit, and it's the smallest kit that you can get started as a business if you like $20, and product versus if you were buying them all. Mostly small ones. It's a great little sampler pack, and you can see what you like. These are not the only kits that we have. There's one that's just for cooking. you know, and it's all the oils that you can use for cooking and recipes. They're delicious. There's also a waterfall technique, which is a massage therapy technique where you're putting specific bunch of kits out there. These are just some of the basic things that you can try. You can also buy just single essential oils. Um, I'm not going to include my links on here. You can contact me if you know me, but if somebody else sent you to this video, then connect with the person who sent you to this video. They can show you how to get the product, or they can show you how to get 20%. Whatever you want to do. These are just my favorite essential oils. I've been doing. This company blows my mind every year with the new stuff they come about the science, you know, about the science, and like, because I recommend this stuff to my clients, and so thanks for watching this. Get with the person who sent you this video and get the kit that's right for you or your family, you and your. Start out with lemon, lavender, peppermint. You can do that. You won't get as much of the savings, but you can totally do that. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for being here. I'm just going to now most of you, if you have any questions,